Not to be the nagging old lady, but I told you not to push too hard.
That was a complete fiasco.
And it would have been far worse had Spider-Man not arrived when he did.
No kidding. Caretaker would have been.
Hey, for what it's worth, I think you did okay out there. You got some decent hang time, even given you were wearing, what, 70, 80 pounds of chainmail? On the Stark scale of reckless yet daring heroics, I give it a solid 6 out of 10. Don't worry, you'll get there. With a little help.
Your support is appreciated.
Oh, no problem. Already got a few ideas cooking. You're not allergic to mimetic poly... You know what? Never mind. Why spoil the surprise? I couldn't help but overhear Auntie Caretaker over there telling you to get some rest. That sounds like a good idea to me. I suppose I could keep you company on the way, seeing as our rooms are in the same direction and all. Besides, no one should be forced to walk the hallways around here alone. So, here we are. The old room, huh? It's not bad. Functional. Solid construction. Almost cozy. Love the antique furnishings from the early Mephisto collection. Full transparency, Hunter, there's another reason I asked to join you here, other than my abject terror of this entire facility. Stopped here before, while you were out. Wanted to surprise you with a nice little housewarming present. Was all set to write you a lovely welcome note, but I'm fairly certain that wasn't red ink in your quill.
I assure you, there is nothing to fear here.
Well, it's easy to say not to be scared of things that go bump in the night when you are a thing that goes bump in the night. I don't even watch horror movies, and now I'm living in one.
Horror movies?
Oh, you'll love them. Imagine a painting come to life. Moving, talking, telling a story, one that just happens to be pulled from your very worst nightmare. Or just stop by my room. Fairly certain there's one hanging there already. Well, I suppose I should leave before whatever monstrosity that is most definitely hiding under your bed jumps out, rips my face off, and then proceeds to feast on my soul. I'll leave you to it.
May your sleep be filled with pleasant dreams, Tony.
Right back at you. Oh, and if you hear the shrieking of a grown man, please ignore it. It's just me, walking to my room. Hi, I'm Tony Stark, but if you're hearing this message, you already know that. When I'm not saving the world, I solve the world's problems with technological means, like the one you're holding. I call it the Spark, a secure information and communication device built only for superheroes. It does all the usual, private messages, pictures, and calls for some reason. But it also comes with access to Superlink, a private social network exclusively for your cape-wearing, world-saving compatriots. You might ask, Tony, aren't you just repurposing a failed product from your communications division? If you do, I'll revoke access and let everyone else know you're a jerk. I call it the Wonder Man rule.
My old journal. Maybe it is time I start writing in it again. There never was enough room for my armor in this thing. were all so happy then.
They're everywhere! We must fall back! To where?
The book! Is she reading from the book? Then we advance. No! Hold the line! I can stop her. Only I can stop her!
Charlie! I know. I missed you too.
Let her enjoy the moment. She's been visiting your door every morning for the past 300 years.
Oh, it must have been so hard on her.
Not just her. I suppose that's why I might have been a little curt before.
A little?
You already made the ultimate sacrifice once. Maybe I'm in no rush to see you do it again.
We do not choose our destiny.
But we can choose to duck.
First lesson you ever taught me.
And still the most important. Especially now that you have all these eyes on you.
I have noticed.
To these people, you are a being of myth and legend. A grand hero of old. And they're right. You are a hero. But I also know the battle that rages within your soul. It's not enough that you are a hero. You need to decide what type of hero you will be. I'm sure there will be plenty of opportunity for that in the days to come. For now, I would head to the forge. Our new guests are eager to show you something. This was a lot easier when it was just you and I beheading the Dark Legion as we traipsed through the woods.
Don't forget about Agatha.
I never could. Charlie was restless all night. I should have known something was wrong. We'll talk more later, but for now, Stark has requested your presence in the forge. I think he has another present for you.
Next thing I know, the Sanctum is airborne and covered in slime.
I don't get it.
Now?
Think you can tell your friend inside there to turn it up a few hundred Kelvin?
I could. However, it might shatter the containment spell preventing him from incinerating this facility.
I think we're good. And just in time.
The forge has certainly changed.
Right. Caretaker said this all happened after your siesta. What spooky castle would be complete without its own Babylonian demon-powered furnace?
Sumerian fire demon. His name is Babs.
Oh, now it all makes sense. Well, once you get past the esoteric terror of the situation, I've found this thing actually has some uses. Molecular bonding, breaking down evil gamma serums, fashion accessorizing.
Yes, speaking of...
Oh, right. It's ready.
Your armor seemed to offer minimal protection against the Venom creature.
I noticed.
Yeah, I thought you could use an upgrade.
Well hammered. Well fired. Caretaker did not mention that you two were such skilled smithies.
Yep. I am Iron Smithy.
Perhaps you should just try it on. Still think it could have used a cloak.
Stylish, damn near indestructible, and we even got the size right. Not bad for our first collaboration.
I still...
I hate to admit it, but somehow this ancient forge puts any arc reactor I've got to shame. Who would have thought mystically bound demon power would be so damn energy efficient? Or carbon neutral? Certainly got that new suit of yours done a lot faster than I expected. Speaking of, what's the verdict, boss?
Tell me about this demon. Why is it there?
Well, you would probably know more about that than me. I'm still working on a way to keep track of everything that goes bump in the night around here. Whatever they've got trapped down there, it's hotter than hell by a few thousand Kelvin, very pissed off, and really good at weaving synthetic microblends. But tools are just one part of the equation. You gotta know how to use them too. You were out, what, 300 years before we woke you from your eternal rest? I'm betting you have questions, so ask away, Hunter.
Seen anything strange around here?
What, other than my roommate? Boom! Roasted! But on a more serious note, this place is legitimately haunted. Mirrors look back at you. My room rearranges itself. And worst of all, magic cats.
Was it suspiciously elusive, even for a cat?
Actually, yes. Thought I was going crazy there for a second, but clearly I'm still firing on all cylinders. It just poofed in next to me out in the yard. Small, black, furry. Cute little thing. Probably some kind of shape-shifting monster knowing this place.
I take it this new version is a technological marvel?
Impact-resistant carbon composites, some patent-pending alloy mesh, and a few touches from Dr. Spooky over there. And hey, the built-in communicator means we can talk to each other without sending a raven.
So it is a marvel, then?
Lightweight, nearly indestructible, and modular enough for future upgrades. Frankly, I wouldn't have used your old suit to wax the Mandarin's car.
Is all this magic a threat to your new technology?
It might surprise some people to hear this, but I do like some things with rules. Isotope decay, magnetic fields, and gamma oscillation make a lot more sense to me than Eye of Newt, bat wings, and a sprinkle of sunshine. At least they did before everything changed.
I cannot help but feel partially responsible.
Well, I wouldn't take it personally. We were detecting changes in both magic and science months before you woke up. But yeah, things have definitely hit high gear since then.
What sorts of things are you doing in here?
Oh, that's right. You were out a while. Basically, we've got a gigantic demon inside the magic box here that provides near limitless power for whatever we might need. Sounds insane, but sometimes it's easier to just go with it.
Okay, so why not magically create a way through that symbiote shield?
Have you ever known it to work that way? We can't just wish upon a star here. We need to know what we're making first and put together the right components. Otherwise, I'd have already whipped up Strange a new personality.
You must have an interesting origin story of your own.
Well, just your typical American boy. Pops was a founding member of the military-industrial complex. Mom, a famous socialite. Tragedy struck when I lost them both in a car crash, which turned out to be a hit from a rival corporation. I spent my early teens at MIT, trying to clear my head, and was all set to follow in Dad's footsteps as a war profiteer. Then one day, fortune shined on me, in the form of some errant shrapnel that lodged itself just above my heart. So I did what anybody in that situation would do. I built a super suit and started fighting crime.
I guess we have all had difficult childhoods here.
Yeah, no kidding. I can't tell you how hard it was to memorize all that at Skrull Sleeper Camp. Just kidding. Or am I?
Thanks for catching me up on things.
Anytime. Oh, and speaking of things, remember that creepy gamma goop you found from that hopped-up Hydra soldier? Well, I gave it a peek, and it explains a lot. If you have a minute, meet me at the anvil over there, and I'll walk you through it. I promise it'll be worth your time. Don't forget to write.
Ah, Hunter. A word? Hunter, your new attire suits you quite well. But how are you holding up on the inside? I know it's easy to look upon me and simply see the universe's utmost authority on all things mystical and macabre, Hunter. However, in addition to being Earth's Sorcerer Supreme, I am also your doctor.
You mean a physician of the medical arts? You jest.
I assure you, Hunter, I do not jest. They don't call me Mr. Strange, now do they? Except for Tony. Your awakening ritual was admittedly a touch more chaotic than I had originally intended, and, well, after your violent encounter with Venom, my oath to Hippocrates compels me to check in with you. Simply put, how do you feel?
You did not awaken me to discuss feelings, Doctor. I am ready to do what I must.
Ah, yes, you mean complete your prophesied destiny and bring about the destruction of your mother? I know some psychiatry professors at my alma mater that would love to talk with you. How you feel is just as important to me as your mission, Hunter. The two are innately interconnected, more than you know. I, for one, do not know if I will ever feel 100% again after the events of yesterday. I still can't believe what transpired. The Sanctum, all that knowledge, Wanda, lost. Swallowed whole by the black mouth of that foul Venom creature. With all my resources, all my gifts, I should have seen this outcome spelled out in the sacred geometry of this universe years ago. But I miscalculated.
Lilith's power has placed a dark shroud over us all, Doctor. You are not alone in this.
Your words are appreciated. Still, I must not allow the underlying truth of the situation to become shrouded as well. It's not just the Sanctum Sanctorum that was lost yesterday. It was my protege, Wanda. She is my charge, my responsibility, and I failed her. But I am determined not to let that happen with you, Hunter, which is why I am here to answer any questions you may have. Perhaps my wisdom may benefit you more than it has me thus far.
Tell me about your Sanctum's wards of protection. I have never heard of a protection spell that powerful.
In your time, I'm sure you've encountered a variety of minor wards and protective spells. The Sanctum Sanctorum was shielded by one such incantation, but greatly amplified by the convergence of ley lines.
Will the wards ever provide the same protection that they had?
It may be possible to undo the damage, but now that a weakness has been exposed, I'll have to rethink my approach entirely. Tony did offer a military-grade laser protection grid, should I be so inclined to go that route.
That creature on the roof, you have run into it before?
Unfortunately, yes. In the simplest of terms, Venom is an alien species living in symbiosis with a human known as Eddie Brock. He's something of a fixture in New York these days, but typically his hijinks are confined to harassing Spider-Man.
My mother has a gift for bringing out the worst in people.
Yes, and in this case, I happen to be the direct victim of her ambition. I fear the Sanctum may never be the same.
How did Wanda come into your care?
Wanda's story is quite tragic, and perhaps not mine to tell. There was an accident on the Abbey grounds not long ago involving Agatha.
That must have been some accident.
Agatha had been teaching Wanda, hoping she would learn to control her immense but very raw power. As their training progressed, Wanda was encouraged to push herself further. Eventually, she pushed too far.
How did Wanda come into your care?
Wanda's story is quite tragic, and perhaps not mine to tell. There was an accident on the Abbey grounds not long ago involving Agatha.
That kind of power sounds like it could be dangerous.
We don't truly know the extent of Wanda's power, and in that respect, you two are very similar. Were she here now, I think you would have found her to be a kindred spirit.
Let us talk later.
Visit whenever you like. It's not often I get to converse with a true legend.
Now, I doubt advanced gamma thermodynamics was a hot topic at Yale demon hunting school, so I'm just gonna give you the condensed version.
I appreciate that.
Closest I've ever seen to this substance is pumping through Bruce's veins. Part gamma accelerant, part unknown element. Calling it coil for now, given its unique atomic structure. Man, I love acronyms. This stuff is more volatile than Nick Fury on a Monday morning, but Hydra doesn't seem to mind.
They are using it to get stronger.
Exactly. A few drops would make your average salamander look like Fin Fang Foom. Thankfully, with a little help from Dr. Spooky and our haunted oven over here, I think two can play at this game.
You are not suggesting we start injecting ourselves with it.
No, nothing like that. Though I can see some future applications for my energy drink line. I was thinking we apply this stuff towards upgrading our equipment.
I like where this is going.
Just give me a little time here and I can whip up some pretty fun toys. How about we give Hydra a taste of their own gamma-powered medicine for a change? Welcome to Tony's Scary Demon Cave. I'm Tony, and how may I assist you today? Another magical mystery box. And to think, I used to design sentient future tech. Take a look. How does this look?
Hunter, when you have a minute, come meet me in the yard. Welcome to the yard. At least that's what we're calling it these days. Caretaker put me in charge of your training. Too bad she didn't listen to me yesterday. Now that we know what we're up against, I think we can all use the practice. Any questions?
I did, but they are about you.
Right when it's time to train? From all Sarah told us about you, she never described you as lazy.
I learn faster if I understand the person who trains me.
I can respect that. Go ahead.
Can I ask about you?
I guess.
Is your name really Blade?
Is your name really the Hunter?
Yes?
Oh, really? Your mom, before she became the mother of demons, looked into your cradle and decided to name her firstborn child the Hunter.
That is how I understand it.
It takes all kinds.
So, is your name really Blade?
No,
What is it?
it's private.
Is it embarrassing?
No, the Hunter, but I only share it with friends.
You do not consider me a friend?
Not yet. Don't take it personally.
How did you become a Dampier?
You say that like I had a choice. I was born this way.
How is that possible?
A vampire bit my mother. Problem was, I was still in the womb. I'm lucky I was even born. Don't know if that's how it always is, but that's the way it went down for me.
How long have you been around?
I don't exactly know. I think of myself as mid-20s, maybe. I lost a lot of time. Much of the last century was a blur. I have occasional memories, almost like coming up for air before being yanked back down into the depths.
What happened?
I killed a lot of vampires. I hadn't lost my mind exactly, but I got into a rhythm and never stopped. Never had a reason to stop. Not until I met Caretaker.
And then?
She gave me a reason to stop.
What brought you to the Abbey?
Caretaker. About 10 years ago, she brought me back to the real world. Gave me a place to stay until I came back to myself.
Did she ever say why?
She said she thought I'd be able to kill more vampires if I was acting on more than just instinct. But I know it was more than that. She gave me safe haven here at the Abbey, something I'd never known. Must have read half the books in the library by the time I headed out. So when she reached out and asked me to be part of this weird little club, of course I showed up.
Tell me about the Midnight Suns.
All right.
Do you have any thoughts on the team as a whole?
I think we're the only ones aware of the danger Lilith poses to this world. And I think we're pretty green. But enough training will get us through it. Speaking of training, we doing this, or are we gonna keep wasting daylight?
I am ready to train.
Finally. Hunter. I still say we should have built a firing range first. Time's wasting, Hunter. Do your thing. Later.
Hunter? Like the way you move out there, Hunter. Guess Dr. Strange picked the right supernatural demon hunter to resurrect. I'm Carol Danvers. You can call me Captain Marvel. Kidding. Carol's fine. Just thought I'd throw a bone to the Avengers PR team. Not gonna lie, going a few rounds in Vampire Guy's Magic Thunderdome sounds like fun, but we've got bigger fish to fry. Well, not so much fish as that ginormous invulnerable sewer monster that swallowed the Sanctum.
Every lock has its key.
True, if only a man-eating alien demon monster hadn't eaten ours. But that got me thinking. Strange, Caretaker, and the rest of the funky bunch can try and magic their way through that shield all they want. If my time as a pilot taught me one thing, it's that sometimes you've gotta find a workaround. As in Hydra. They've gotta know the way inside. Steve's always said they aren't much for talking. But then again, I'm told I can be rather persuasive when I need to be.
Just how far are you willing to go, Captain?
Let's just say that I'm willing to unleash the power of a quantum singularity white hole on them if need be.
A quantum what?
You'll see. Find me in the war room when you're finished here. There's a few things we should discuss. Oh, and Hunter? Welcome back from the dead.
Hey. What's up?
Thanks, Blade.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Nothing is certain these days, but these readings are too distinct to ignore. The gamma signature is...
Sorry, Bruce, we lost you. Did you say Gamma?
Yes,
Hang on a second. Come on, Tony. You managed to stream the Super Bowl to a Kree battleship 50 light-years out. This should be easy.
Oh, we waited all year for that game, and you know the Skrulls would have spoiled it for us if they got the chance.
Well, can't you just... I don't know.
Work my magic again? See, that's the problem. This time I am working with actual magic, and let me tell you, it sucks.
Ow. The gamma signature is completely inverted. The daughter nuclei are being reabsorbed into the parent nuclei, which is impossible.
If the gamma signature from the Sanctum is really that unique, Bruce, then couldn't we just...
Sorry, still working out a few gremlins in the system.
Try sunlight, and whatever you do, avoid water.
Wait, you're being serious?
We should be able to track this new gamma signature to its source then, right? I'd do it myself, but we seem to be having a little IT trouble today.
Please. Old Central here is ready to grind through that data like chum.
What exactly is a central?
CENTRAL. Cognitive encryption, net transmogrification. We'll figure it out later.
Sending coordinates now. Hope your gremlins enjoy gamma spectroscopy.
Well, he's been a little moody lately, ever since, the problem with the big old green guy.
I heard that.
Banner can't turn into the Hulk? Not sure if we should be frightened or relieved.
That makes two of us.
Oh, hey. Come on. Happens to everyone. Well, okay, not everyone.
Nice work, Bruce.
I know that place. Creepy abandoned warehouse in the bad guy part of town.
My favorite kind. Anybody up for paying it a visit?
Definitely.
Aw, see that? Teamwork goosebumps.
Find me when you're ready.
multi-million-dollar piece of experimental technology, and she kicks it.
It was just recently that the Hudson Yards Development Restoration Association purchased this entire block. I'll let you think about that one for a minute.
Let's see. Trench coat, sunglasses at night.
Gamma signatures and unstable isotopes aren't really in my wheelhouse, so we'll be patching Dr. Banner through from Avengers Tower once you reach the other side.
Probably can scratch abandoned off the description of this place. You seeing this, Bruce? Getting all sorts of weird down there.
Johann Fenoff. That hack. I heard he was dead. Well, hoped is perhaps the more accurate description.
Calls himself Faustus now. Hydra's resident mad scientist.
Not just Hydras. Liliths. That's magic coming from those crates. I can feel it.
Yeah? How about gamma radiation? You feeling that too? Because that's some pretty evil-looking Hydra tech down there.
Gamma and magic.
Gonna need you to use your science brain on this one, Bruce.
We need to approach this situation carefully. Combining those energies is an explosive proposition at best. Think scalpel, not hammer. Stealth, not strength.
Yeah, I don't do stealth.
Kill them.
I always considered Faustus a bit of a crackpot, but his fundamental science must be sound. The device would have surely exploded otherwise after your display, Carol.
Learned it by watching you, Bruce. Wonder what the desertion rate is for Hydra lackeys. Let's do it!
They're mine. Getting better every day.
You asked for it!
Now you're just showing off, Carol. How many times you gonna try that? This is gonna get messy.
I've never been one to buy into the science of magic, but the data I'm seeing is hard to ignore. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio.
You know you're talking to a vampire, an alien hybrid, and a resurrected demon hunter, right?
How invigorating.
Time's up for these jumps.
I'm on. I saw a move like that once, centuries ago. Hell.
We will not fail! Reinforcements inbound.
Is it possible he somehow stabilized the rate of decay within the particles themselves? How else could he be achieving such a high yield?
I don't know, Bruce. I'll be sure to ask him when we're done punching out the bad guys.
Weak, even for Hydra.
This is...
You do not have to show off for me, Blade.
What's this? Well, that's exciting.
Hydra Immortalis!
Perhaps Faustus's device is worth further study. If you wouldn't mind, Carol, I'd prefer it if you and your supernatural associates not...
Smash it?
Yes.
That was something. So that's how that works.
This is a serious predicament for you.
It's on! Ought to make things interesting. Get out of there! That's not supposed to hurt.
You just made a big mistake.
Let's get this started.
You make that look almost too easy. was a time when Lilith had the highest of standards for her minions. That time has clearly passed. That will not slow me down. Is that everyone?
It's about time. Ouch.
Go, now, quickly!
Let's go, go, go!
The perfect opportunity to field test Mother's device.
Watch out!
Get her!
For the record, Bruce, I did not smash that thing.
Noted, Carol. Perhaps you might direct all that energy towards your newfound adversaries instead. And the mysterious cargo they're attempting to escape with?
Hope you're ready for a fight. Take this!
Never seen that before.
Here we go.
No more.
Vampires are not the only ones who should fear you.
We will not fail. I think they like me.
Their persistence is irritating.
My time to shine. You're in trouble now. On Gamma, on the move.
Preliminary analysis of the blast confirms high levels of gamma and various unknown energies.
Unknown to you, there is dark magic at work here. We must not let Hydra escape with it.
Should get the blood pumping.
Not a problem. up chumps like you.
One less thing to worry about. Approximately 16,342 more to go. I suggest starting with the remaining Hydra forces in your vicinity.
Now you just have to get through me.
Looks like it's up to me now. This shouldn't take too long.
I will not waste this opportunity.
Let's do it!
Leave some for the rest of us. Is on our side. Let us see if they have an answer for this.
Did you miss me? They got one of ours.
These delays can be quite frustrating. Infuriating, even. I suppose by now I'd normally be tromping through the warehouse, hurling the puny truck at the moon.
I've got a pair of torn purple pants with your name on them.
Try something new.
I am going to get you for this. They seem to be fixated on me. Light will carry you onward. The power of the light. Blade told me to mention your mother. Apparently she is promiscuous. You are lucky to still be breathing. You will have to do better than that.
Sheer numbers won't save you now. The light will heal you. Welcome assistance. As a child, I feared the servants of Lilith. Now I teach them to fear me. Was that truly your best? Did you think that would stop me? A focused effort? I'm afraid you might not make it back from this one. Your loyalty to the Mother of Demons will be your undoing. Hydra's standards have fallen a great deal.
By her command!
Lilith would be embarrassed by your weakness. Behold the light's gift. This shall be of great help. Lilith herself could not best me. What makes you think you will fare any better? Hell that.
We serve until the end!
Over the years, Lilith's disciples have come in many forms.
We've done it!
What is this thing?
Bad guy crate, full of bad guy stuff.
I know those symbols from the time of the first hunt. That glyph means barrier, that one almighty. Something, something, gods and demons.
So a spooky bad guy crate.
Very spooky. Designed to contain powerful magic. Be careful.
Got it. Don't cross the streams.
Never do. How about we get this thing back to the Abbey and see for ourselves? Nice job out there, kid. I mean, I didn't get Hydra bombed until my 10th run with the Avengers.
Kid? You do know that I'm a good 3 centuries older than you, right?
Then you've got a lot of catching up to do.
Okay, Abbey tournament tonight.
Sure about that? Last one got a little heated.
The eternal spirits of vengeance take technical fouls very seriously, especially in the fourth quarter.
Forget it. Tonight is movie night.
It is always movie night.
Exactly.
Wow, out of jail again? Who made this game? Wilson Fisk?
Well, if parking is free, clearly no one from Manhattan.
You know what they say? All work and no play is how we ended up with Ultron. Come on. You should hang out.
I should rest. Another time. Let me see. How did this work again?
Good. You answered. Getting hard to keep finding ways to say open door around here. And despite what Robbie says, I don't think the staff of One speaks High Elven. Blood magic stuff. Cool room. Spacious. Aw, is that bed for Charlie?
Yes.
So, if you're planning on giving me some sort of brooding code of the stoic warrior speech, I'm immune. Just ask later, magic. From what I just saw out there, whatever crazy ancient living weapons stuff Caretaker put you through back in the day did a real number on you. We got a lot of work to do.
Work?
Yeah, talking to people, making friends, basic human stuff. Or quasi-human. You're a Midnight Sun now. One of us.
Nico, I was just Hydra bombed. I could use some rest.
You and me both. Been bad dreams every night for me lately. I, keep seeing Wanda. She... Never mind.
I will meet you outside.
Yes! I'll go nuke us some popcorn and you pick out a movie. Oh, and it may just be the two of us. The others went outside, needed to cool off. Really need to hang a fan over that forge. Or maybe crack open the casket of ancient wonders a little?
So Dr. Faustus tried to drop a warehouse on you? Ugh, that guy is so lame. Talk about a prototypical follower. Something tells me you don't have a favorite movie. Well, we can start you out with one of my favorites. I know this entire situation's gotta suck for you. Not just the whole resurrected, chosen one thing.
I get why facing Lilith won't be easy. I was 15 when I found out my mother was capital E evil.
Was your father there for you when you found out?
Dad was evil too. Long story, lots of drama. There was a cool dinosaur. I'll fill you in later. Look, I'm glad my mother is gone, but yeah, at times I just want to hear her voice again. Some days I'd give anything to make that happen. Makes me hate her even more.
I did not realize you carried such pain.
I just learned to bury it. You think I can afford a therapist on a superhero salary? I'm kidding. We don't get paid for this. Enough about our crappy parents. You missed out on decades of good movies. It's my solemn duty to fill this knowledge gap with the best examples I can provide. So, the first thing you need to know, the glowing briefcase is a metaphor. I really needed that. So, what did you think of the movie?
I understood more than I should.
How? You've been dead for 3 centuries.
I'm not so sure I was dead. Not exactly. I recall a deep slumber, not the void. I dreamt.
Of what?
Of everything. Much of this world is familiar to me. I know it from my dreams.
That's not creepy at all. So, do you know everything?
No, think of it like this. I know what a car is, but I have no idea how to drive.
You're up to date, but not omniscient. Then I'm guessing you don't know much about me.
Just what you shared earlier.
You're always free to ask, like, what's the staff of one, or who were the runaways?
I had some questions about your old team.
The runaways? Sure thing.
Were you all heroes who banded together?
No, we were normal kids. We saw each other once a year when our parents got together to reminisce. And then we found out 2 very disturbing things. First, our parents were supervillains who sacrificed children to evil gods. Second, each of us had some sort of powerful birthright. Our parents wanted us to follow in their footsteps.
What did you do?
We ran. But eventually, we realized only the 6 of us could stop our parents and their dark gods, so we faced them and stopped them from destroying reality as we know it. You know, typical kid stuff.
Who was on the team?
At first, Chase with his mad science gear, Molly, our pint-sized powerhouse, Carolina, the solar-powered sweetheart. Gert had a telepathic link to Old Lace, a genetically engineered Deinonychus from the 87th century. I handled the blood magic, though I didn't understand it much. And Alex, well, we don't talk about Alex.
Where are your friends now?
Molly attends Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. Carolina left Earth to marry alien nobility. Gert, she didn't make it. After Gert passed, Chase and I had a falling out. The last I heard, he and Old Lace are living at his family home in LA. As for Alex, he chose his side, and it wasn't ours. He died with our parents.
I had some questions about your staff.
Sure. But first, the basics. The Staff of One interprets words or phrases as spells, but it can only cast a spell once. No repeats.
Can you tell me how the Staff of One functions?
It's, blood magic, so my own blood is required to summon it. You wouldn't believe how many adhesive bandages I go through each year.
What about the words you speak?
They come true. Kind of. And not always the way I expect. It's like making a wish, but you can never make the same wish again.
I had some questions about your staff.
Go for it.
If each magical effect is unique, do you worry you will run out of words?
Not really. I only use the staff's power when I truly need it. The rest of the time, I rely on more conventional means. Like, you know, magic.
I should get going.
Good timing. Looks like Caretaker wants to speak with you, and wow, I should get to bed. Time flies when you're hanging out.
I'm glad to see you're using your free time productively. Looks like you're finding your way around. Maybe making some new friends.
I was planning on getting some rest, but...
Things are moving at a frantic pace. For all we know, I'll be landing a jet on the roof with Mr. Stark this afternoon. Not quite like it was in the good old days.
The world is still full of monsters and villains, my mother being the worst of them all.
You forgot heroes. The world is still full of heroes. Though sadly, we're missing one of our best.
Agatha? Where is Agatha?
I am sorry. I should have had this talk with you much sooner. But you should know... Agatha... she's no longer with us.
What? That is impossible. She was so...
fierce, indomitable, or maybe just kind to a fault.
Agatha's power. How could she be... gone?
She put her trust in the wrong person. Agatha died in an accident caused by her protege, Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. The Midnight Sun's latest recruit, a powerful spellcaster in her own right. Perhaps the most powerful Agatha and I had ever seen. Wanda's abilities were growing. Too quickly for my liking. Agatha was determined to help her control them. I tried to caution her, but she would not listen. There was an incident. An accident, I'm sure, but...
Agatha was killed.
Yes, incinerated in an instant. Not even ash to remember her by. The others were heartbroken, as was I. But I also saw the danger, the threat, if Wanda's powers were left unchecked. So I did what needed to be done. I sent Wanda away, to the Sanctum Sanctorum, to study under Dr. Strange. I know the others still harbor a great deal of resentment towards me for it.
I do not envy you. That must have been a difficult decision.
It's my job to make tough calls. I'm not popular for it, I know. But strong leadership requires risking being unliked. Wanda, Agatha. It seems we have lost them both now. I conjured a small shrine to Agatha's memory on the grounds, hoping to find some solace, a way to move forward. You should pay your respects. Maybe you'll find what I couldn't. Good night, Hunter.
Agatha?
You always did have the most remarkable eyes, Hunter. Just like your mother's. Maybe that's why you're the first.
The first?
To commune with the spirits, of course.
Is this a trick of some kind? Because I am not amused.
No, it's no trick, dear. You're just the first to see me. By now you've heard I had a bit of trouble with my corporeal body. I actually find it quite liberating.
You are dead.
Always straight to the heart of things. That's my Hunter.
You seem strangely at ease about this whole thing.
After 1,000 years of living, you learn to take things in stride. Even death.
And what have you been doing all this time?
Meet me by the cave just over there. You know the one.
The Blood Gate? Caretaker always told me to stay away from that place.
I think we can safely lift the veil on a few more of our secrets. What's the worst that can happen? Ominous-looking portal is known as a Blood Gate, and you're the only one among us who can pass through it.
Blood Gate? Caretaker's handiwork?
Yes, Sarah got a little overprotective after the accident with Wanda. It's become something of a habit for her.
I have noticed that.
What lies beyond is meant for you, as much as it ever was for her. Assuming you're up to the challenge, that is.
You know I am.
I do. But it's always polite to ask.
Whoa.
Is it? There was a time when the blood stood within these celestial halls to prove their worth. This particular arena belongs to a goddess who often favored Sarah, Ashtor.
Sarah? Caretaker was here?
Nothing ever comes easy, dear. The Elder Gods felt their descendants needed to earn their blessings, which is why they created these trials to begin with.
Trials? I should have known.
This entire realm exists for that purpose, Trial by combat, with no chance of outside interference. Yes, but I may have found a loophole they never considered. Why don't you try summoning your four-legged friend?
Charlie?
The old gods are responsible for a great many creations, including your faithful companion. I think even they tend to forget that. Good luck, dear. As the goddess of balance and order, Ashtor was sometimes called the giver of justice. You can expect a fair fight, or at least her idea of one.
You were too weak for this fight. Your mother abandons you. Leave some for the rest of us. Feel my call. They are hoping to wear me down.
Compared to our girl, these hellhounds are nothing but mindless beasts. Don't hesitate to strike. They certainly
I am impressed. The light will heal you. The power of the light. Once again, Lilith's servants fall. They cannot possibly match your strength. I saw a move like that once, centuries ago. I will not let you down.
You can imagine why Sarah was so fond of Ashtor. If I didn't know better, I would say she modeled her role as caretaker after the goddess herself.
Return to your mother. You were unprepared.
Good girl, Charlie. Oh, and you too, Hunter. You finished this trial, but don't worry. The other gods are waiting.
notifications. Trophy earned. Press the PS button for details.
Sarah was right to be wary of this place. But it's your birthright, and I think after everything you've been through, you can handle it now. The two of you, as well as your mother, are the last of your kind, the Blood. Your lineage follows an unbroken line to the old gods themselves. And if you call upon them, you might just find they're actually listening. They won't work miracles for you, but their blessings can be quite useful in the right circumstance. Why don't you ask the goddess Ashtor for her aid in dealing with that barrier over there?
The goddess must be busy. Must not be her purview. She does not see it happening. The goddess disagrees. The gods are fickle. She does not see it happening. The gods are fickle.
After all this time, it's still just as beautiful as the first time I laid eyes on it. It's hard to believe Lilith and Caretaker brought this place all the way from Transia. Of course, it was no coincidence that they wound up so close to Salem. This area is particularly attuned to the forces of magic. That's why the Elder God's influence was so prevalent here. And why our sanctuary here has remained all but impregnable over the centuries. And now I'm rambling on like an old sorcerer supreme. Why don't you come see me in the library tomorrow night? Oh, and let's keep this just between the two of us for now. I'm afraid Sarah, Caretaker, isn't ready to see me yet. Good night, Hunter.
Is this thing on? Hunter, please come to the forge at your earliest convenience. Again, that's Hunter to the forge. Thank you. Strange out.
Hunter, just in time. His royal weirdness and I were deciding what to do with that nasty little Hydra gift box you found.
Ah, yes. The spooky crate.
The very one. Though it is far from any mere container, I assure you. I am detecting powerful emanations from inside. If this is a sign of what Hydra is after, I fear we are all in grave danger.
My offer still stands. I could fly the thing up and nuke it in orbit. Only way to be sure.
Or we could open it, Tony, and perhaps use the mystical energies I sense inside to our advantage.
Yeah, I heard a "we" in there. Green goopy gamma serums are one thing. I'm not opening boxes full of mummy curses.
You don't have to. Hunter, if you'll allow me.
Your second funeral, boss.
We desperately need to get into this crate. If Hydra is now working to acquire mystical antiquities, then our situation is very dire indeed. We need to find a way to gain the upper hand.
And you think you can do it with whatever is in the container?
Tony has one of the greatest scientific minds that I've ever seen. I, of course, have an unparalleled understanding of the mystic arts. I have no doubt that we can find a way to research whatever we find in there and have it work in our favor. I just wonder what it could be.
Do you think this will be enough to give us an edge?
I hope so. Whatever it is, it's quite powerful. I'm relying on my instincts here, but truly that's all I have to rely on until I can find a way to access the Sanctum's archives again.
That seems a bit risky.
Right now, with the Sanctum out of my reach, I'm fighting with one hand tied behind my back. Metaphorically, that is. If I can find items to research, I can give the Midnight Suns every possible advantage over Lilith and her disciples.
I look forward to seeing what you come up with.
Me too, Hunter. Now, all this talk is going nowhere unless we can get this container open and study what's inside. Step up to the anvil, Hunter. It doesn't bite. Please tell me it's not another amulet. By the hoary hosts of Agatha, I can hardly believe it.
What? Is it worse than you expected?
No, it's totally unexpected. It's the Eternity Dagger. This was in a place of honor in my bedchamber in the Sanctum for years. The Sanctum Sanctorum is no common domicile to be burglared. These barbarians have no idea what they possessed.
Or perhaps they did. Maybe these artifacts are exactly what Faustus and my mother were after to begin with.
A distressing thought. If they had my dagger, then who knows what others of my priceless possessions have passed through their greedy fingers. The cube of nothingness. The tear of Prophia, and most worrisome of all.
Your toothbrush? You, had a little coffee thing going on this morning with your breath?
Oh, Tony.
Sorry. Doc's right, Hunter. I drank 3 glasses of holy water just to walk through the Sanctum's front door. Place is like a doomsday vault for all sorts of supernatural nastiness. We need to put a lid on this mess. Pronto.
I believe Carol is already working on it.
At last. Now that this artifact has been returned to its proper owner, we shall see if we can make use of the mystic forces contained within. A simple object, though certainly not useless. You know, I really could do just as well without you loitering back there.
How else am I going to steal your secrets if I can't see what you're up to?
I doubt you'd find anything suitable among my secrets anyway.
Whoa, wait a minute. Can it be? Did you just make a suit joke?
I didn't hurt its feelings, did I?
2 in a row. This is a major breakthrough for you. All right, let's get started, Dr. Spooky. What have you got for me, boss? Analyzing it. I've got some upgrades for you, hot off the press. Or forge.
The mystic arts require concentration and...
Hey, Hunter. Got a sec to spare?
You moving into the forge, Hunter?
Ah, I see. What is this? Curious.
You've been here more in the past few days than I have since... ever. The forge is pretty badass, but the creature trapped inside riles up my own inner demon. Speaking of, there's something you should know about me.
You are bonded with the spirit of vengeance?
Damn, you're good! How could you tell?
You are not the first spirit of vengeance to join the Midnight Suns. I fought beside another just a few days... 3 centuries ago.
Oh man, sometimes when I have crap to work through, I like to get my blood pumping. Why don't we hit the yard for a sparring session? I know Sparky's excited to meet you.
Sparky?
That's what I call my spirit of vengeance. His real name is something you'd see written on a symbol, but with like 12 apostrophes. Also, he's not allowed inside after the incident with Caretaker Sumerian Sofa.
It would be my honor to spar with a spirit of vengeance.
Wow, he's real excited. Never thought he'd get bouncy, but here we are. Okay, let's do this. I'll get Blake to set things up. Won't take a minute.
I will head to the yard. When you and Sparky trade places, what does he look like?
He's the guy with the flaming metal skull and hellfire chains. Kinda hard to miss.
Hunter, ready to get your burn on? I'm talking training with Ghost Rider.
Spirits of vengeance train the hardest.